Starting off, for those who don't know what intra-abdominal pressure is, it basically means taking in a deep breath during your compound lifts, holding it throughout the range of motion. If you aren't doing this, you're going to get injured, unfortunately. This is something that a lot of people aren't doing correctly. A lot of times in the gym, you hear that if you hold your breath that it's not safe or it's dangerous, which both of them are absolutely wrong. Intra-abdominal pressure is sometimes referred to as abdominal bracing or also the Valsalva maneuver. And basically your whole goal with this is to take in a deep breath, pressurize down into your core, and hold it throughout the range of motion, throughout the whole movement. If you're breathing in at the top, holding it, and then letting it go as you're coming up from a squat or a deadlift, you're losing all of that tension you just previously built up, and that's got a higher chance of injury than just breathing normally in general. Because you have all of this stability and then you lose it all as soon as you breathe out. So don't do this, it's a very bad idea. I'm gonna go over how we're gonna be using this to get stronger. You can use this in your next workout and you'll automatically get stronger as a result. And a lot of this comes down to proper breathing. If you aren't breathing properly when you're doing these heavy sets with your compound movements, anything where you're doing like a squat, a bench, a deadlift, overhead press, barbell rows, it really doesn't matter what you're doing. You should be pressurizing and maintaining that spinal integrity by taking in that deep breath, pressurizing your core, and holding it throughout the entire movement. The proper way to do this is pretty simple. All you want to think about doing is taking in that deep breath down into your stomach. So you don't want to be breathing up into your shoulders and chest. If you're taking in a deep breath and your shoulders are rising, you're doing it wrong. Here's what it shouldn't look like. That's not how you do intra-abdominal bracing whatsoever. You're breathing up into your shoulders and your chest, which is how most people breathe. You want to think about breathing down into your stomach, down into your obliques and your lower back, and pushing out with that air and holding it throughout the whole entire movement that you're doing. Here's how it looks when you're actually doing it properly. This is Chris Duffin doing a 1,000-pound squat for 2 solid reps. Mind you, he's probably around 250 to 275 pounds, so he's a lot lighter in weight compared to some of the super heavyweights that are over 300 pounds doing this kind of weight. As you can see at the beginning of the movement, he's taking in that deep breath of air. He's holding it throughout the whole movement. He's not letting the air out. You are not able to get to this level of strength and stability while safely implementing the lift without actually using abdominal bracing. You should be doing this anytime you unrack the bar, anytime you're getting set up for a deadlift, an overhead press, etc. And here's how it would look on the squat. So you're taking the bar, you're getting set up, you take that deep breath in, brace down into the core, push out, hold it throughout the whole entire movement. You want to think about breathing in just a little bit in between your reps. So when you do your squat, you get to the bottom, you press back up, you make sure that you're holding that breath throughout the whole thing. You don't let go on the way up, you lose all your stability that way. Get up to the top, breathe down into your core, hold it again. That's what you want to be thinking about doing every single time you do a compound lift. If you aren't doing this, you're going to get injured. It's just a matter of time. You have to get set properly every single time you set up. You have to take that deep breath in and you have to hold it down in your obliques and your lower back and your abdominals. If you aren't doing that, you will not get stronger. The only time you don't really need to think about doing this is on any kind of isolation exercises. So if you're doing curls, you're standing up upright, you don't have to think about taking in that deep breath. If you're doing extensions, lateral raises, anything like that, it's totally fine not to be doing this. But if you're doing dumbbell rows, any kind of push-ups, things like that, you can definitely get some better performance out of yourself if you take in that deep breath and you're holding it throughout the range of motion. One thing you can do to actually kind of help with this and make sure that you're doing it properly is by using a belt. When you're using a belt, you're able to push out your diaphragm and your obliques and your lower back into the belt. And by using that proprioception that you get from that, you're going to be able to learn how to do belly breathing and, intra-abdominal pressure a lot better. So try it out next time you go in the gym when you're doing your squat. Take that deep breath in, hold it throughout the range of motion, squat, stand up, breathe out a little bit, breathe down into the core, hold it, do your next rep. That is all. One of my clients actually used these kind of techniques to get stronger on the deadlift and the squat after not being able to deadlift for a couple of years. He got injured from, doing deadlifts incorrectly, which you hear all the time. And we got him from being, he was basically in pain every single day. He couldn't even bend over without doing it, without getting pain in his back. He couldn't reach down to grab a pencil. He had to make sure he was hinging like a deadlift essentially every single time he did anything. So for him, we worked on building up his back, building up his core, building up his obliques especially, and then utilizing the intra-abdominal pressure on his main movements. But he's gotten his deadlift over 200 pounds and his squat is around 200 pounds as well. So we're making strides in his strength gains. And pretty much every single day of the week now, he's not in pain whatsoever. Even if he doesn't do his back stretches like he's supposed to be doing, he can go through and not have any injuries because of it. His back feels completely fine now. Basically for him, if he doesn't use the abdominal bracing, he's gonna get injured again. So every single time we're in the gym, we have to drill it every single time. It's very, very important if you want to make these changes and get stronger. For those of you who have never heard of this before, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is something you can use to get stronger in the gym? Let me know in the comments below. But that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Dante, and if you're new to this channel and you'd like to see how to get stronger and build more muscle, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new content. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.